Y'all, I have finally made a decision, and that is choosing between a digital planner and a physical planner. And I am so hyped because I've been debating this for years. I've been talking to friends and family, and everyone has their own little takes, and I just never knew what to choose for my life and how it would work. So I drafted a pros and cons list. I sat down and I realized what I would be using for 2021. So this is based off of my opinion, and this is based off of my lifestyle for the next year. I will be working from home, so everything is going to be on my desk and I'm not moving that much. So with that said, I'm choosing a physical planner this year. This is she's cute. I just drew her today, and she has a little bit of Japanese inspiration with the lines here and the cherry blossoms. But yeah, she's cute. I am so excited to start bullet journaling. I started doing bullet journaling earlier this year, but nothing to plan, so I'm super excited to use my washi tape. So if you're deciding between bullet journaling, using a physical planner or a digital planner, here are some of my pros and cons that I kind of helped me weed through what I wanted to do. Start off with digital planning. The first pro that I put on here is that it uses no paper and no materials. That's definitely good, especially we can try to be as as environmentally conscious as we can be right now. My second pro here on my list of 2 pros is that digital planning is very easily accessible. So I have the materials like an iPad and an Apple Pencil and my iPhone that I could kind of interchange Google Calendar or any other calendar app. And that was a big draw for digital planning for me. And that was one of my biggest gripes of, oh, should I go with digital? Should I go with physical? But yeah, that's definitely a big pro. Moving on to the cons. This is probably more of a personal con, but I don't really like writing on the screen of my iPad. Or typing on it, I guess. But I bought the paper-like screen protector. That's a cheaper knockoff of the $40 one. And it doesn't really replace the feeling of paper, and it kind of glides a little bit more smooth than paper. That's just a personal con for me because I do like writing on paper and using different pens and things like that. And another con that kind of intertwines with that is that I'm not sure if I have the proper app. So I know that everyone uses GoodNote 5 or GoodNotes 5, I'm not sure, to do their their planning and all of that. They make their own templates and make it all aesthetic and really cool. Could never. But I don't know if that necessarily affects the way I plan on my iPad or on my phone. Again, we could use Google Calendar or any other calendar app, but if you were gonna write it out and have a day-by-day planner like I usually like to have, I'm not sure if the iPad is right for me or even my iPhone, because I do like writing out each step that I have. I write a lot. It helps me organize my thoughts. Another big con about having a digital planner is that I am always on a screen from the morning to the night, and I know you're supposed to have half an hour before bed, or you're not supposed to be on your screens, and when you wake up, you're not supposed to. Who does that? Who does that? The fact that I'm always on my screen for work, for leisure, for everything. So I started out using my iPad for a few different note-taking apps and things like that, and I realized my eyes are hurting.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
It's getting more jumbled in my head that I'm like, okay, gotta switch to this screen, switch to that screen. So that, I just needed some time off the screen, period. So let's move on to the pros and cons of physical planning. Using a bullet journal, a store-bought planner. One of the pros about having a physical planner is that for me personally, I love to craft, man. I have some washi tapes that I haven't used. I have a bunch of colored pencils, pens, markers, stationery. That's a pro. That's it, that's the pro. The second and the biggest pro that ultimately made me decide to switch over to physical planning was that I won't be on my screen. I definitely needed time off. Once I started bullet journaling, I was like, oh, yeah, I shouldn't be on a screen for like 23 hours a day. Again, the cons are just the opposite of the pros for digital planning. There will be paper and materials involved, which means it's not as easily accessible outside of going out of my house, or I will want to take out all my stickers and my pens and everything. And so it's not as quick, but it is more therapeutic for me. I've always used store-bought planners, and mostly from Target, but I've always been debating on even switching to my phone before I had my iPad, because it was just so easily accessible. Like, I wouldn't have to bring a full-on notebook if I wanted to go to, I don't know, to school, to work or anything, and kind of easier sometimes. Also, it's not as environmentally friendly, but I'm trying to find a little more ways to make it environmentally friendly. So for some of my bullet journals, they will have old magazines or old packaging that I want to throw away. So I kind of wanted to make it a little bit, more crafty in that sense. But the ultimate factor was because I needed to get off the screen, especially working from home. I'm not sure when I start traveling or going out for work how the physical planner will hold up, but at least for the next half of the year, I'm going to be relying on this guy. And if you want to see me fill it out, I will probably be posting on my Instagram, so yeah, go check that out. Hopefully this was a quick video. I just wanted to share my thoughts on why I picked the planner I was going to pick. Let me know in the comments below what you are debating about or what you picked and for what reasons, because I'm very curious. Maybe in 2 years, digital planning will be the future. It kind of is already the future, but I'm going back. I'm regressing. Anyways, hopefully new videos every week or every 2 weeks, depending on how busy I am. Alright, bye!